Welcome to episode 6. I think this is episode 6 of Mondays with Mollie. I'm so excited to share this with you guys today. Hey, Sarah. Hi, welcome, Rhonda, Caitlin. I'm so excited about what we're talking about today, how to love your body where it's at. This was a request. This is, if you followed me for any length of time, this is something I've talked a ton about already. You guys know that, but I want you to walk away with some really practical, tangible tips that you can actually practice. Hi, Hannah, Rhea, Shannon, Nancy. Hi, guys. Hey, Hannah. So excited for this chat. Okay, let's just dive right in. We have so much to cover. I don't want to miss any of it. Okay, let's just acknowledge that loving our bodies as they are is a challenge. Tell me in the chat if this is something you struggle with. We live in a world that makes it very challenging for us to love our bodies where they're at. And if you've never struggled with this, that's amazing. But I, in my whole life, have never met a woman who's never struggled with this experience, right? So I'm going to give you 3 practical things we can do to love our bodies where they're at. But let's just acknowledge, if you guys don't know my story, my whole life have felt at war with my body. I've struggled with chronic illness, autoimmune diseases. I struggled with health and symptoms and limitations of my body. But I also struggled with how it looked, my relationship to it. I struggled with food. I struggled with restrictive and binge eating. And even in all those years of struggling with disordered eating and hating my body and my relationship with food, I maintained a body that looked within the world's standards of what was okay. And I still struggled in that time. A few years ago, I got diagnosed with my second autoimmune disease, and within the course of a few months, I gained 50 pounds. I literally gained 25 pounds in a month. It was crazy. My body broke overnight, and it changed really fast, no matter what I did. And it's been a few years since. I have done a lot to heal my physical body, but it still has not returned to the size, the weight that it was previously. I don't know if I'll ever get there. I hold out hope that maybe I will, because I pray every day for physical healing. But I can truly say with confidence that I love my body more right now, 50 pounds heavier than I used to be, than I ever did before. I really can say that with confidence, and it's because of the work I've done and the things I'm going to share with you today. So I want you to understand, as you hear me talk through this, where I'm coming from, my own experience, and then of course the work I do with women to help them through this journey. But know that this is not something I speak from lightly. So whether you're battling illness, you have physical limitations, you have a body that is breaking down, doesn't work, whether you've had a baby, whether you've gained weight, or even if your physical body has not changed and you haven't undergone any physical changes, you still struggle just to love it where it's at. If any of those apply to you, which I'm guessing at least one of them does, let's talk about 3 tiny, simple things you can do to love your body where it's at. Number 1 is to separate your body from your being. You are not your body. I mean, I know that in those words, it sounds so simple, but think about it. Really challenge yourself and ask yourself, who do I think I am? What do I allow to define who I am? 90% of us will say our physical being is a part of that definition of who we think that we are and how we look to the outside world and what we have to offer. Your body is not who you are or what you are. It is simply the vessel that you live inside of. So you are not the way that you look. You are not this physical being, the clothes that you wear, the size of your thighs, the color of your hair. That's not who you are. You are your passions, your thoughts, your mind, your energy, your knowledge, your history, your story, the people that you love, the way that you love them, the way that you serve, the work that you do, the legacy that you leave, that is who you are. And you have to define for yourself what those things are and what that means. And I really think that getting clear on that, on who you are and where your worth is found, is absolutely critical to loving your body. Because if you place too much worth in something that is not, should not be holding it, then of course you're always going to struggle. But part of my healing journey early on, when I was gaining all this weight and my body was transforming, not a single thing in my closet fit me. I didn't even recognize the body I was living in. Everything, I mean, you can imagine everything, my world was crumbling around me. One of the first things I had to do early on was continually remind myself, I am not my body. If you've been around for a while, I've talked about this. I shared this years ago. It was a continual mantra to say, I am not my body. So I, Mollie Mason, who I am, is not my body. It's everything else that I do, the people that I love, the way that I serve them, the thoughts that I have, the heart, like what's in my heart, the passions, the history, my story, all these things, like I said, right? So there are a million exercises I could give you to work through what that means and redefining who you are, like the definition of who you are. What does that mean to you? But as simple as separating your body from your being, as simple as continually reciting, I am not my body. That is an amazing place to start. Separate yourself from your body. You, who you are, your worthiness is not in your physical being. So number one is to separate your bodies from your being. Number two is to cover your body with gratitude. I know gratitude is such a buzzworthy thing people talk about, starting your day with a gratitude list. I don't know if you roll your eyes at the thought of this. Bear with me if that's how you feel. Okay. You cannot heal something you hate. This is something I've said before. We talk about when I help women in healing their bodies through nutrition, through wellness, through healing protocols, we have to start with that concept. You cannot heal something that you hate, and you cannot love something you're not thankful for, okay? Think about that. I love my husband. If I can't say that I'm thankful for him and I'm grateful for his presence in my life and the relationship that we have and the way that we serve each other and the life that we share and the things that we do together and the dreams that we're chasing together, if I can't say that I'm grateful for him, how do I love him? I don't, right? So gratitude changes everything. You have to be thankful for your vessel. You have to be thankful for it. Again, it's just a vessel. But if you want to love your vessel, you have to be thankful for it. So you decide what that looks like. For me, this looks like every morning starting my day with gratitude of my body. I speak out loud, I pray, I write affirmations. One of the things that I write every single morning as I start my day in my journal is, I am thankful for a body that works so hard for me. If you don't know what an autoimmune disease is, the foundation of autoimmunity, it is my immune system attacking my own body cells. That looks very different depending on the autoimmune disease you have, but that is what autoimmunity is. And one of the things I struggled with a lot in my healing journey was hating my body, not just because of the way it looked, but because it was failing me, because it was attacking itself. And I had to work through realizing that my body is working so hard for me. It's missing the mark. It's doing the wrong thing, right? But it is working so hard. It thinks it is working so hard it thinks it's doing the right thing by attacking my own cells. So I know that might sound silly, but being able to say every single day, I am thankful for a body that works so hard for me. Sometimes I get as detailed to say, I am thankful for immune cells that are fighting for my health. Maybe they're missing the mark, but I am thankful that they're doing that. I am thankful, okay? You have to start there. So you decide what that looks like. An exercise you can do is to get out a notebook and just write everything that your body can do, and start those sentences with, I am thankful that my body does this. I am thankful that I have eyes that can see the world. I am thankful that whatever that is, be grateful. This is in nutrition protocols that I'm implementing with women, helping women to heal their guts, working on reducing inflammation in their body. We're doing real physical, tangible work. It starts here, because I tell everyone, you cannot heal a body you're not grateful for. If you don't believe that you are worthy of getting better, you won't. You won't. So number 2 is to cover your body with gratitude. And number 3, I know this might sound silly, but shift your focus elsewhere. You have to drop the obsession. I know so often as women, if you think about your day and the thoughts that you have throughout the day, if your body is consuming them, even 30% of the thoughts that you have throughout the day, what a disgrace that is, right? Again, if our bodies are simply the vessels we're moving through, if especially negative thoughts of your body are consuming your day, are filling your day, that is such a disgrace to the work that we could be doing, the thoughts that we could be having. You have to let your mind, your energy, and your thoughts focus on other things. So for me, in my healing journey, this looked like pausing my physical healing for a season, because as I shared early on in my life, my obsession was with the way that my body looked and trying to perfect it. And after I gained all this weight, that kind of went out the window. I didn't have a choice to try to look the way that I thought was acceptable to me. But even though I was able to let that go, I was replacing that obsession with healing my physical body. I was obsessed with getting better, of feeling better, of my idol became my physical healing. That became my obsession. And that in itself was preventing me from healing, from moving forward, because I was consumed with doing the right things, eating the right things, doing everything right. And that in itself was holding me back. So I had to, for a season, pause that chase of my healing journey, because I had to be able to drop that idol. So this looked like last year, probably not doing all the things I should have been doing for my wellness in a lot of ways. I've shared this before. Last year, my husband and I purchased 2 homes that we renovated. One that I'm currently in. As you can see, I'm missing light switches, and that's what those weird boxes are behind you. We're still renovating, but focusing on other things. In that season, I was living off of, I've said this before, we were living off of Chipotle and frozen pizza from Costco. That was literally the foundation of my diet. And Snap Kitchen meals for lunch, thank God. That was keeping me alive, I swear. But I dropped the obsession. I was not working on any crazy protocols or cleanses, because I had to drop the obsession. I had to separate myself, and I literally just focused my mind, my energy, my thoughts, all of the energy that was going into fueling, healing my physical body, instead went into this like beautiful creative these projects of everything. If you've ever renovated a house, you know it consumes everything. All of our time, our energy went into this, and it was exactly what I needed, because by focusing my thoughts, my energy, like by having something to get excited about, to be passionate about, to consume my time and my energy, to require more of me than obsessing about my body, I like naturally this obsession, this stress, this fear, these consumption just fell away. It just fell away. And even though I wasn't making maybe as much progress as I could have if I was focusing in a way of like eating super well, of doing all the right things, taking all the right supplements, I swear that season was one of the biggest steps that I took, like by focusing on something else. That was one of the most important things I did for my healing journey, because it allowed me to step away and to separate myself. It allowed me to do tip number 1, which was to separate my being from my body. I just got excited about other things. And I know that sounds so simple, but if you want to love the body that you're in, you cannot let it consume everything about you. I know from working with women that this is where we get stuck. We just let it consume us. And so shift your focus elsewhere, drop the obsession, get excited about other things, find passions, fill your time, your energy, your thoughts with other things that you're excited about. Find new hobbies. Like, don't just obsess about your body all the time. I know that sounds crazy, but it's so simple, but it will do wonders. It will seriously work wonders. So I know those are simple. There are so many ways that I could coach you through how to do this. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this and these are things that you want to work on in more tangible ways. I would love to help you through that. I'm working on a resource that's really tangibly going to help walk you through this. But those 3 ways to love your body where it's at were to separate your body from your being, cover your body with gratitude, and shift your focus elsewhere. So I should say too, a bonus tip here is just to remember that this is a journey, okay? It is a daily, sometimes hourly choice to fight these lies. I think sometimes where we get hung up is we think that self-love, body love is this destination and this arrival. Like so when we think that way, that I'm gonna love my body when this happens. I'm gonna love my body when I lose at least 25 of these 50 pounds I've gained. I'm gonna love my body when I can run 6 miles. I'm gonna love my body when I eat perfectly and I don't struggle with my eating throughout the day, whatever. When we see body love as a destination, we are not only robbing ourselves of the fact that it is in the daily moments and the daily choices, we also prevent ourselves from ever getting there, because anytime we get tripped up or we struggle, we're gonna think that we don't love our bodies. Like, just understand that it's a journey and it's a daily, again, like I said, sometimes this is an hourly, like minute by minute fight. Scripture says to take every thought captive and to not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our minds. That is something that I have to meditate on that has really helped me, is just understanding that the renewal of my mind is where this work happens. So every time, again, like I said, I love my body now more than I ever have. That's true. That doesn't mean that I never struggle with thoughts of dislike or any negative thoughts around my body. They come up. They do. They absolutely do. I think I'll have thoughts come into my mind of how it looks in my clothes. And even especially for me, struggling with being frustrated over my body not being able to do the things that it used to. I can't physically I'm not as physically fit as I once was, and so I struggle with frustration over not being able to do the same thing. So those thoughts come up all the time. They do. But we have to stop them. When they come up, we take them captive. We stop them where they're at. We stop them in their tracks. We identify them as lies, and we replace them with truth. So that is where affirmations, gratitude, these things are so important, because when those thoughts come up for me, I just replace it and I say, I am thankful for a body that works so hard for me. I am thankful that this is the vessel I get to move through my life with. I am not my body. Like, that in itself is so simple to whip out anytime I'm struggling with negative thoughts about my body. This morning at the gym, not being able to do as many tricep push-ups as I used to be able to, feeling like, hearing those thoughts starting to come in, just saying, I am not my body. I am thankful for a body that works so hard for me. That in itself, that is the replacement of that, right? Identify them as lies and replace them with truth. That is what we have to do. So I think maybe that's tip number 4 there. Understand that this is a daily choice and a daily fight. It's not a destination. It's not an arrival. You don't just get to a place where you love your body and now you're going to be good for the rest of your life. Wellness, health is the same thing. I have a gut health program that I walk people through. I walk them through a protocol on how to heal their guts, but I have to remind them this is not a destination. Just because you implemented this 14-day protocol and we've gotten your gut to a healthier place does not mean now for the rest of your life you don't have to take care of your gut. You do. Every day for the rest of your life, you have to take care of your gut, and I'm going to equip you and teach you how to do it, but it's not an arrival. It's not a destination. Fit people don't just get fit and then stop working out, right? So it's not a destination. It is a daily choice to love our bodies. So that in itself, if you can believe that and remember that as you go through your day, as those thoughts come up, stop them dead in their tracks and just replace them with truth. So that is where, again, and I will say too, if you're struggling with affirmations, I am beautiful, I am strong, if those things don't feel right for you, that's okay. That's where gratitude comes in. I do believe that affirmations are so powerful because we can start to believe things that we don't presently by speaking them out loud. I do believe that. I believe that in speaking life over ourselves as well as other people. Something I say as inside my marriage, something that has blessed my marriage more than anything is, instead of focusing on what my husband isn't or what he does wrong or his shortcomings, I speak life over him. I lift him up with my words to the characteristics that I want him to have. And we do that with our bodies too. So I hope that is encouraging. Remember, this is a daily fight. It really is. But when you surrender to that truth, it becomes so much easier to just in every moment choose love and gratitude. So I hope that's encouraging. Like I said, I have a lot more resources on this, and I would love to continue to support y'all in this journey. So let me know. Send me a DM if you want to chat more about this. I'm cheering you guys on in your journeys to loving your bodies, to serving them well. Remember that love is a verb. It's an action. It's not just a feeling. So if that's as simple as it gets, if you're struggling with the feeling of love about your body, then at least work on the action of caring for it, of stewarding it, of honoring it. That's where it starts too. So I love you guys. I hope this week I want to challenge you to try to do at least one of those things. Commit to one of them. I would love if you would comment below or send me a DM of which one you're committing to, which one you're going to do, because that's where it starts. So cheering y'all on. Hope you have the best weeks. I'll see you next time.